If you ask me what are the strangest, most exciting, scariest and most beautiful places in the world, I tell you, all of this gathered in space. And today, I wanted to tell you some facts that make you think to be an astronaut. NASA has recorded terrifying sounds from space. To hear what is happening in space, NASA uses a method called data acoustics to receive signals from radio waves, plasma waves, and magnetic fields, and converts these signals into sound components. Various sounds can be heard in these pieces of sound, from screams like the sound of an ambulance siren to beeps as if they were the sound of a spaceship. The sunset on Mars is blue. The first color image of the Mars Curiosity probe from the sunset on Mars in 2015 shows that the sunsets of this planet are blue. According to NASA, the reason for this is that there are very small particles in the dust in the Martian atmosphere that transmit blue light better than colors such as yellow, orange, and red, which have longer wavelengths. Sending objects to space is very expensive. If you divide the cost of launching a spacecraft by its payload, the number obtained would be staggering. The cost of sending each pound, about 450 grams of carbon to space, is $10,000. It costs $43,180 for the Cygnus spacecraft, and $27,000 per pound for the new Spacex spacecraft. The space is full of garbage. A space is littered with space debris such as rocket fragments and crashed satellites. The space orbits there at a speed of 28,163 kilometers per hour. According to the US Space Surveillance Network, the number of debris reached 23,000 and is larger than a baseball. These space debris are dangerous because one collision between them is enough for a chain of debris to collide with each other. As a result of this event, a cutout full of garbage is created in space, which makes space travel very dangerous. This was the prelude to Gravity. Starring Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, most of this space debris belongs to the United States, Russia, and China. Apollo astronauts' footprints will remain on the moon for another 110 million years. The rate of erosion of the moon's surface is 0.04 inches, about 1 millimeter per million years. So the footprints of astronauts who landed on the moon from the Apollo spacecraft in 1969 could remain for another 10 to 100 million years. The atmosphere is not always cold, and in fact it can be very hot. In the darkest part of space, the temperature can reach around minus 234 degrees Celsius. But if you are close to the sun, in the sun the temperature of the space will be very hot, around 121 degrees Celsius. The astronauts' clothes are white to reflect the heat they encounter on Earth. 1 year of Venus is shorter than 1 day. The planet Venus rotates in the opposite direction to the Earth and rotates at a very low speed, so that 243 Earth days is equivalent to one rotation of the planet Venus around itself. But because Venus is so close to the Sun, it only takes 225 days to orbit the Sun completely. So a year, Venus is shorter than a day. The International Space Station is the size of a football field. The International Space Station is about 109 meters long, about 90 centimeters smaller than an American football field. This space station weighs about 419 tons and is the largest man-made space. So far, 230 people from different countries have been on the International Space Station for research and missions. In space without astronaut clothes, you will last only about 50 seconds. In space without protective clothing, you will suffocate after only a few seconds. Because there is no pressure in space, the air in the lung expands and it quickly lost through body tissue. In this case, only 50 seconds is enough for the body to consume all the oxygen in the blood. Being in space without protective clothing has other terrible consequences. Loss of intestinal control, boiling of blood, rupture of capillaries, and swelling of the body. There are rules for space. There are rules for space. The United Nations has enacted special rules for space so that the space does not become a place for war or nuclear testing. For example, no one is allowed to carry weapons of mass destruction into Earth's orbit. Space exploration is only possible for peaceful purposes, and any country that sends something into space is responsible for the damage caused by it. It's time to Gold Fact. Maybe you have a question that say, why is the space in black? You might think that there is no black space because there are many stars in space that light up the sky. This phenomenon, called the Olbers Paradox, is named after the German astronomer Heinrich Wilhelm Ulbers, who introduced it in 1823. If the universe is infinite, static, and immortal, then there must be a star wherever you look. Says Olbers, eventually it turned out that the world is neither static nor eternal. American astronomer Edwin Hubble has discovered that the universe is expanding, and that the thermal radiation left over from the Big Bang has made the universe 13.8 billion years old. We do not see the stars in the very corners of space because they are not close enough for daylight to reach us.
Well guys, this video is about space. Actually make me to make this video, and I hope you enjoy. If you enjoy, be sure to the subscribe button. Until the next video, have a great time.